Hello, and welcome to Unity of Fredericksburg. My name is Johnetta, and I am pleased to welcome all of you to the Unity of Fredericksburg weekly online gathering. At Unity of Fredericksburg, we are advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. We thank those of you watching on YouTube, live or later, and invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are able to attend live, we encourage you to join us in the Zoom community room for the full month Sunday morning experience, including music, prayer, and connection. Our weekly newsletter includes the Sunday service link, and you can subscribe to receive that on our website at uofva.org. For everyone local to Central Virginia, Unity of Fredericksburg offers a variety of fun and enriching in-person gatherings every month. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at uofva.org for all the details. Our message and meditation today comes from Reverend Lori Petrozino. Reverend Lori is a lifelong resident of the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania region. Prior to being ordained by Unity Worldwide Ministries in 2024, she was a teacher of children with special needs. Reverend Lori is in the process of developing a new evolving ministry group in Unity, and her home based congregation is Unity Church of Christ in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Reverend Lori enjoys working in nature, going on adventures with her spouse, cheering on the Philadelphia Phillies, Eagles, and reading on her couch with her precious Habipo, Harry, at her side. And now here is Reverend Lori Petrozino.
Thank you, Janetta, and to everyone in the Unity of Fredericksburg community for the warm welcome. I'm really honored to share this space with you today. And I realized as I looked at my own bio that I have written, I forgot to include there that humor is one of my values. And with the topic today being the power of release, my mind often associates the physical act of either cleaning or decluttering with the power of release. So I just thought that I would share with you some clean humor, and I hope you enjoy. For example, I have a friend, and she asked me if I knew any laundry puns. I told her, well, yeah, I've got loads of them. And I'm going to use my power of imagination that you're all laughing at this because I can't see your wonderful faces, and that's okay. I've let my imagination run wild. Or how about, what did the broom say to the vacuum? I'm so tired of people pushing us around. Or what is a clean house a sign of? There's no internet connection. That's what it's a sign of. Okay, one more. I know you're begging for it. How do you contact the spirit of a deceased window cleaner? Give up? By using a squeegee board. Okay, you all did not come here for my stand-up or sit-down comedy. You have come here for a unity talk. And laughter is a way to lighten the mood. And the power of release is our ability to lighten ourselves by releasing beliefs, attitudes, thoughts, and feelings that are weighing us down or holding us back from expressing our divinity. I release and open new spaces. The power of release was originally called The Power of Elimination by Charles Fillmore in his book, The 12 Powers of Man. Renunciation has been another name that I have heard used for this power. And today, it is more commonly called the power of release in unity circles. In the physical, release is the activity of cleaning out or clearing out a space. It can also be letting go of unused items and cutting ties in a relationship or relationships that are toxic or detrimental to our well-being. Spiritual release, as defined by Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word, is a letting go of old thoughts so that new thoughts may find place in consciousness. A healthy state of mind is obtained when the thinker willingly lets go of the old thoughts and takes on the new. This is illustrated by the inlet and outlet of a pool of water. The center of renunciation, sometimes called elimination, is the lower part of the abdomen and carries forward the work of elimination of our thoughts from the mind and waste of the body. The disciple who was associated with the power of release is Thaddeus. Now, Thaddeus is not one of those well-known disciples. In fact, his name only comes up a few times in scriptures. And like the power that he is associated with, there are also different names associated with him. In the King James Version of the Bible, in Matthew 10, verse 3, he is called Lebiah. I'll get it right. I should have practiced a little more. Lebayus. Is that last part, use, like we say in Philadelphia, Lebayus, and whose surname was Thaddeus. Luke, in the book of Luke, however, Luke replaces the name Thaddeus with Judas, son of James. And Luke authored the book of Luke and the book of Acts. And so he calls him the son of James, Judas, son of James, in both Luke and Acts. And that's Luke 6:16, if you want to look that up, and Acts 1, verse 13. When the Apostle John mentions Thaddeus, he calls him Judas, not Iscariot, not to be confused with the Judas who betrayed Jesus, who we see as the disciple of life. And that's in John 14, verse 22. So Bible scholars suggest that Judas was likely the name given to Thaddeus at birth, while Lebayus and Thaddeus were nicknames. Lebayus is an Aramaic nickname. It translates as heart child. And Thaddeus is Hellenized, or the Greek nickname, which means breast child. So why am I telling all of this to you? Is because it gives a little insight into the metaphysics of the name of Thaddeus. So metaphysically, Jude, remember that's likely his birth name, means praise Jehovah. And Thaddeus, his Hellenized nickname, is of the breast or of the heart, being large-hearted, warm-hearted, or courageous. And Lebayus is not mentioned in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, but the meaning ascribed to Thaddeus, to me, incorporates the meaning of Lebayus. So in the body, the eliminative center is situated in the lower part of the back. It is the abdominal region, the organs of digestion and elimination. What I am led to draw from this information about the power of release in learning about Thaddeus and his different names is this. First of all, release happens on different levels, just like all of the powers do. And release that is engaged with courage and tenderness is what is truly desirable and impactful. And this is noteworthy when we realize and consider that feelings of chronic fear, hate, or avarice can cause undue stress on the body, which can lead to congestion in the body. And this congestion in the body is also indicative of that we would benefit from practicing the power of release with intentionality. Modern unity ministers and authors describe release in subtly different ways. Reverend Sharon Bill Holton and Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, in their book, Power Up, describe release as the power to discard, let go, remove, liberate, dismiss, or eliminate. Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt, in her book, Divine Audacity, states that spiritual release is our power to cleanse, renounce, and repent. And Reverend David Williamson, in a book that's a little bit older than both of the other two, but yet still of the, we can call the modern unity era, in the book that he co-authored with two others called The 12 Powers in You, states, release is our ability to change our mind, to change our beliefs, to let go and let God. And then we go a little bit further back in unity, but these words were written in the mid 20th century by Charles Fillmore's second wife, Cora Fillmore, in her book that accompanied Charles's book, The 12 Powers of Man, and her book was titled Christ Enthroned in Man. She wrote, the faculty of renunciation is twofold in action. It eliminates error and expands the good. So I release and open new spaces. Now, release may have several names, just like Thaddeus, and it has multiple ways to employ it. The ability to say no is one of the primary functions of release. In this way, it serves as the engine behind the use of denials. Release is what we use to nullify thoughts that dampen our self-worth, feelings that restrict the expression of our divinity, and beliefs that are out of alignment with divine ideas or principles. In the book, Power Up, again co-authored by Unity ministers Sharon Bill Holton and Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, we encounter these words. If we truly want to grow in the awareness of our spiritual nature, we must be able to deny, disempower, and let go of any thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that hinder or hold us back, or keep us tied to our personalities and ego. We cannot effectively claim our true nature if at the same time we believe we are simply personalities inhabiting physical bodies. So remember, we are fully human and fully divine. And the power of release helps us in expressing both of those natures, as do all of the powers. We need to become aware of thoughts and beliefs that impede our spiritual growth and expression. The practice of prayer and meditation do help in this process, in helping us to realize what are those thoughts and beliefs that are getting in our way. Another practice is to pause and become curious about why you are feeling a certain reaction during a conversation or an encounter, perhaps watching the news, scrolling through social media. We all have those, whatever our reaction is, we have those feelings and we have those reactions. And instead of reacting right away from our humanity, we can pause and get curious about it. And then we can respond from our divinity. And also, that pause helps us to build our awareness of what we are, where and when we are not in alignment with our divine nature. Another practice that I personally strongly recommend is to engage in spiritually based shadow work. It's a process that is an excellent tool for developing awareness of what needs to be released in order for you to come into alignment with your divinity. Through the intentional use of the power of release from elevated consciousness as opposed to our ordinary everyday in this world consciousness. And that is explained more fully in the book, throughout the book, Power Up. So, coming from that space of elevated consciousness for the power of release, you make space for your divine nature to be expressed more fully and for greater good to be made manifest in your life. And remember, you cannot release and hold on at the same time. I invite you to try that right now if you can. If you're in a physical space where you can do that, find something close by, something small and something not easily broken. For myself, I have a small bottle of hand sanitizer. Just try to release it and hold on to it at the same time. It's not possible, is it? So remember, you can, when you do release through your spiritual nature with intention, you create the space to embrace a new, more spiritually enriching practice that supports your current beliefs and truth principles. I release and open new spaces. Now, while release is our ability to say no to behaviors and beliefs that are not in alignment with our divine nature, there is an additional spiritual practice that, when paired intentionally with the power of release, can supercharge its impact. And don't we all like that, to be supercharged? To have our spiritual powers be supercharged. And that is the practice of forgiveness. It's that simple. And it's not necessarily easy. I realize that. When you set about the activity of release, especially deeply held beliefs and attitudes, it's likely that you are going to stir up or churn up some old junk in the trunk, stuff you've been holding on to for a long time. And stuff that you may not even have realized was like hanging out there in your psyche. Could be old hurts, could be miscommunications you've said or received, regrets. I'm sure we've all had a few. Resentments, your would haves, your could haves, your should haves. As Unity Minister Sharon Connor says in her book, Adventures in Resilience, Igniting the 12 Powers in You to Create a Radiant Life, She says, the most exciting thing I know about the power of release is that it can be our spiritual eraser. The most challenging part is that when we evoke its power, it is like a spiritual roto-rooter. It brings up the sludge of what needs to be released. Residual unfinished business, incomplete communications, unhealed hurts, unmet expectations, resentments, and regrets. It's everything we've stashed because we didn't know what to do to effectively handle it at the time. So, what do we do with it now as we become aware of it? Enter the spiritual practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness for others and for yourself. Forgiveness is not limited to events that involve someone else. Unforgiveness tethers you to the very entity to which you are wanting to release. Just like you cannot release and hold on to something at the same time. That's what unforgiveness does to you. It tethers you to that moment of the past. So when you incorporate forgiveness as a part of your spiritual release, you open the way even more fully to the divine in you, the divine that is you, to turbocharge the power of release. When you, Forgiveness is an act of cleaning out the negative energy of resentments. And remember, resentment is a feeling of indignant displeasure as something regarded as a wrong, an insult, or an injury. Unforgiveness, grudges, and resentments all are obstacles in our path to expressing Christ consciousness. They are blocks in the way of our good. They can even be blocks to us doing our part to contribute to the good in the world. Giving space to holding a grudge blocks your ability to experience peace of mind. And that reminds me, why don't old grudges ever win races? Because they just can't let go of the past. Unity Minister Edwene Gaines says in her prosperity teachings, if we refuse to give, we are clinging to subtle, self-defeating feelings such as guilt, shame, blame, hurt, and resentment. And when we do this, we cannot feel truly worthy of having the best that God can give us, and we cannot and will not accept God's gifts. So forgiveness is one way we practice release. Each time we let go of a thought, an emotion, or even a relationship, a habit, we make space for peace, joy, and well-being to flow again. Releasing isn't about fighting what is. It is about gently accepting and setting down what no longer serves us. Like a cleanser that might clear away like what's blocking our skin from glowing, spiritual release clears what clogs us up inside, freeing us to glow, to live with greater vitality, love, and happiness. Forgiveness and release are like the waste haulers of our spiritual tools. We can employ them to haul away the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes that inhibit the expression of our divinity. When we use the power of release from an elevated consciousness level, we open the space and possibility for increased good. I release and open new spaces. So let's take this opportunity right now to exercise our spiritual power of release. And so I invite you to sit comfortably in your chair if you are not already. Feel the chair supporting you. Perhaps you want to close your eyes or soften your gaze, turning your attention inward. And take a few good cleansing breaths. Do you relax your body? Perhaps lower your shoulders, letting go of any tension. And on your next inhalation, go to that place where you make conscious contact with the seat of your divinity. Now, bring your attention to your lower abdominal region, the seat of your power of release. And there, envision an amber colored light filling your abdomen. Feel it filling that space. Now, as it has filled your lower abdominal region, shine the amber colored light throughout your entire body, through your entire being, in mind, body, and spirit. You are aglow with the amber light of release. Each time we let go, whether it is a thought, an emotion, a habit, and even a relationship, we open space for peace, joy, and well-being to flow again. Remember, resisting is not what releasing is. Releasing is not about fighting it. Release is about gently accepting and setting down what no longer serves us. We say no to that which does not serve our highest good. And you, the divine in you, knows what serves your highest good. And so you say no to what does not serve the expression of your divinity through your humanity. Forgiveness is also how we practice the power of release. And so, right now, I invite you to call to mind something that you would like to release. Perhaps a worry, a regret, or a thought that you know is not for your best interest, for your highest good. And in this moment, choose to set it down. Choose to release it. And hold these words in your heart as you engage the power of release. I offer forgiveness completely. I hold no unforgiveness back. My forgiveness between all parties is total. I am free. They are free. We are free. And notice the lightness that comes as you let go and release with a forgiving heart. Just as trees release their leaves in preparation for a period of rest, followed by growth, your practice of release clears the spaces of the soul for renewal and growth. With each release, you make room for more vitality, more love, more happiness. Breathe in the vitality, the love, the happiness, the joy, and feel how your body responds. The key is to meet these worry thoughts one thought at a time as they arise. Each time you notice, each time you release, the energy loosens and your spirit becomes freer. Over time, these worries grow quieter and your reality begins to shift toward peace. I release, I let go. Spirit in me, spirit as me takes control. I release and open new spaces for good. Just rest for a moment in this truth, breathing in peace and breathing out release. Feel the lightness in your body, the freedom in your soul. And when you are ready, bring your awareness gently back to the present moment, carrying this sense of release and renewal with you. And so, my friends, I want you to remember that release may have several names, and it is optimally engaged with courage and tenderness. Release is the power of no, the power behind denials. And the spiritual practice of forgiveness supercharges the spiritual power of release. I encourage you in the upcoming week and beyond to engage your power of release with courage and tenderness. Start small. Perhaps you want to first start with a physical space. Examine what you have been holding on to in it. See if you realize why you have been holding things there that do not serve your higher good. And say no. Say no to the belief that holds you back. And forgive others and forgive yourself. Release, let go, release and open new spaces, and have an amazing spirit-led week. And now I release this space to Janetta. God bless you all.
Thank you, Reverend Lori. Thanks for watching this weekly broadcast from Unity of Fredericksburg. Visit our website, uofva.org, to learn more about our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation, and support our ministry with your financial donation. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.